Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 2 emulation with PCSX2, and if you like to customize things, PCSX2 just got a brand new update you might be interested in. So at the time of filming, the latest update for PCSX2 is nightly version 2.5.168. And with that update, they've added in custom background support, and it allows you to change the background on the games list. Now, in my opinion here, for those who like to customize things, they might be excited about this one. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. It appears the theme can be set right in the interface menu in the settings menu. If you're interested in this one and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, link will be within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. Taking a look at GitHub here, and it appears that some people are already having quite a bit of fun with this. Interesting. And speaking about emulation improvements, next up we're talking about Virtual Boy emulation, not on the Switch, but on the Nintendo 3DS with RedViper. And RedViper just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, RedViper version 1.1.1 is the latest update. And with this latest update, there's a bunch of fixes and some improvements, including performance improvements and also fixing graphical oddities when exiting pause menu in Golf. Next up, we're talking about the canceled Perfect Dark Reboot. Now, we've talked about this one in previous videos when it was announced it was canceled. And now it seems some more information about the canceled reboot has surfaced. Now, I've seen a number of reports on this one, but I think MP First was one of the first places to report on it. Anyways, this is the before based on the trailer of 2024, and this may have been the work in progress. And to me, I kind of like the new look. Let me know your thoughts. And taking a look at the other concept art that's now available online, and in my opinion here, and I don't know about you, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, I am very disappointed that there's not going to be a Perfect Dark Reboot. I think that this game would have been very successful overall. I think it's a shame that it's being reported talks between Take-Two and Embracer and Microsoft broke down. And speaking about stuff not releasing, next up here we're talking about the complete opposite and talking about something brand new releasing, and that's MX Linux. And if you like to be on the cutting edge of things, MX25 Infinity Beta 1 ISOs are now available for testing. MX25 Infinity is based on Debian 13 Trixie, and the kernel on this one is Linux kernel 6.12.43 LTS. And speaking about betas, next up we're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 ports to the Switch. And it seems someone with a very keen eye has noticed some differences between the Switch ports and the original games. And they say here, Galaxy 1 and 2 ports look worse in some places. I mean, taking a look at the images posted here, and I may share similar sentiments. I mean, even with the ground, you can see the detail in the original versus the lack of detail in the port. It's interesting overall. This is posted up over on Reddit Mario, and no surprise there are some people defending Nintendo here, and well, no surprise there are some people also critical of it. I mean, this person here who is no longer being downvoted says, hopefully this is an old trailer made months ago if this is how it looks at launch. Yeesh. And this person says, no clue why you got downvoted. This is very concerning. Now, I've also seen some comments say that the difference between the two images is simply compression, and I don't think that's all a factor. I would heavily disagree with that. I mean, I would argue that both images, yes, are compressed because they were on YouTube, but at the same time here, I really don't see the difference between the two being compression at all. We're going to have to wait and see on this one, but I think this paragraph here sums up my sentiments. I hope that these are simply unfinished textures that happen to slip through the videos and are awaiting replacements before release, but I have doubts. And speaking about new releases, next up we're talking about TeknoParrot, and this is the latest from TeknoParrot. Huge update. TeknoParrot now supports Namco System 357 and 369 arcade titles via our custom RPCS3 fork. Fully automatic, no confusing configs, just the smooth TeknoParrot experience. On top of that, they say there's some new games unlocked: Dead Storm Pirate Special, Dark Escape 4D, Sailor Zombie, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Unlimited, Dragon Ball Zenkai Battle, and Taiko no Taijutsu Green version. I might have mispronounced that last one. And speaking about games, next up we're talking about Dethrace. Dethrace is an attempt to learn how the 1997 driving mayhem game Carmageddon works behind the scenes and rebuild it to run natively on modern systems. and Dethrace just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, Dethrace version 0.9.0 is the latest update. And it seems as if there's a whole bunch of brand new stuff and fixes here, including fixing some music and playing music when starting the game, and also stuff for 3DFX. And speaking about decompilations, next up here we're talking about Street Fighter 3, and I think this is very exciting. Here's the post up over on Reddit Street Fighter, and they say here, "Hello everyone. What you're seeing here is, I believe, the first ever public footage of Third Strike running natively on a modern PC. No emulation involved, just a native binary." Now, taking a bit of a deeper dive on this one, and the project is up on GitHub here, and it does appear to be the PS2 version of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And taking a look at their progress, and they seem to have made quite a bit. Now, the end progress may take quite a bit of time too. There's no guarantee to say, you know what, they're 93% done and just the other 7% is going to be pretty quick. That additional 7% could take quite a bit of time. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I think this is extremely exciting. Let me know your thoughts. And speaking about progress, next up we're talking about Hollow Knight Silksong. And I would say this is pretty huge progress for the overall modding scene for the game. If you're interested in Hollow Knight Silksong and modding, you might be interested in this DSO Gaming article. So according to the article, Hollow Knight Silksong got a multiplayer mod with PvP support. I don't know about you, but I think that's super interesting and could possibly be very chaotic in-game. And taking a look at some of the footage here, and it does look pretty chaotic. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about Everquest, and if you're familiar with Everquest, you may or may not be familiar with the Hero's Journey emulator. It seems there's some not good news for this emulator in court. Now, a whole lot of detail can be found about this up on massivelyop.com, which I would recommend checking out to learn more about. Anyways, here, I guess Daybreak is going after the emulator, and for a number of different reasons here. Now, based on what I'm reading here, I think one of the very hot topics about this was how much the emulator was reportedly pulling in. The emulator, I guess, was taking donations in exchange for in-game currency here, and, well, they took in a lot of donations. It's being reported they earned up to $100,000 monthly. So I guess here Daybreak has won a preliminary injunction, and I'm really curious to see where this one goes moving forward. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and if you're surprised about this one and what do you think the outcome's going to be. And speaking about emulators and games, next up we're talking about Air Hockey for the NES. And this is a homebrew game. If you're familiar with table hockey or air hockey, well, you're probably familiar just looking at this gameplay. This game can be played in a browser and also works on real hardware and in emulators. They say here, Air Hockey for the NES is an attempt to build a game in the style of the early NES black box titles. All of the code for this game is available free and open source. And on top of that, it's a fully featured game with 1 player versus AI or 2 player. And last up here, we're talking about Commodore, and I would say this is a pretty darn big success story. So listen to this tweet from them. On behalf of the entire Commodore team, a huge thank you goes out to you, our incredible community. Hitting 10,000 pre-orders of the Commodore 64 Ultimate is only possible because of your passion and support. Now, to be honest with you, I'm really surprised about this one for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't realize there'd be that many people interested in this. And number 2, I didn't think that many people would be interested in this based on the price point, because these start at $300 US. Overall here, I think I have really underestimated the size and power of the Commodore 64 community. If you're part of the community, if you've pre-ordered one of these, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and did you expect it to be this successful? But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.